This is Gaurav Goyal, Northeast DeKalb Vascular Agronomist. Every year we launch brand new products in both corn and beans. Today I want to talk about the performance of the corn products, the brand new corn products that we launched in our territory from the data that we collected from Northeast, but also from the data that we have collected from the rest of the country. There were a total of 12 brand new products launched that we tested in our trials in Northeast, but for the sake of time, I'll be talking about the first 5 products from up to 100 relative maturity in this video, and then rest of the products I'll be talking about in the next video. I'll share information on each of these products one by one. So the first one is DKC 3648, which is a double pro. So it's an 86 relative maturity product. The 3 main characteristics you want to remember about this product are dual purpose. It's a good anthracnose stalk rot on it and really good drought tolerance on it. Here's the maturity snapshot that shows all the plots that we did in Northeast this year, comparing all the products with each other. So here's DKC 3648 right in the middle. The green color tells you that this was significantly above average in the plot, whereas the red ones, they were below average. So 3648 is showing a lot of green color, and the products that I want to compare this brand new product against would be some of the big volume products in our territory, like 3628 genetics, 3588, and 3750. And it seems like this is beating pretty much all those 3 products in Northeast in the limited number of trials that we had. But I want to look at some of these trials from across US as well. I am going to be showing this kind of slide again and again, so let me explain it. The chart on the top right shows you the yield difference between the product, which in this case is DKC 3648 compared to 3588. So 3648 is beating 3588 by 7.5 bushels per acre with win ratio of 69% and in 35 comparisons. The chart on the bottom tells you different yield environments. So DKC 3648 beat 3588 in 97 to 130 bushels yield environment by around 4.5 bushels in 7 comparisons. And anything that's on the below the x-axis tells you that 3648 got out yielded by 3588 by just over 6 bushels in 4 comparisons. The entire US data compared to 3749 or 50 genetics shows even better. So 3648 is beating this genetics by 11 bushels per acre with 82% win ratio, which is pretty good. And it's also beating in all yield environments from 115 going up to 247 bushel yield environment. Is beating pretty much in any one of them. Another new product that we tested in 86 maturity was 3686, which was also a double pro. The 2 key characteristics you need to remember are good stalks and also medium height plant, so it gives you good standability. It's not a tall plant like some other products, so it's just a medium height plant. Okay, here's a maturity snapshot again. DKC 3686 is showing good amount of green color, and it is out yielding our own DKC 3628 in all these 3 plots, and also beating 3750 in all the 3 plots. But I want to see in the rest of the country how it's doing. And also we didn't have any comparison against 3588, so I would like to take a look at that as well. DKC 3686 beat 3588 by 5.5 bushels with 68% win ratio in 47 comparisons, which is a good number of comparisons. If we look at the yield environments, other than above 200 bushels, it's beating 3588 in each and every yield environment from anywhere from 4 bushels up to 10 bushels and so on. Even above 200 bushels, there were only 2 comparisons where it got out yielded by 3588, but I don't worry about it because it was only 2 comparisons. The story is that it is beating 3588 by a good significant amount. Now, since DKC 3628-30 is an older product, so we didn't have very many comparisons, only 7 comparisons But in those comparisons, 3686 beat this product by almost 14 bushels and in pretty much every yield environment. So pretty good data on this new brand product against some of the older products. In contrast, we have a lot of data on comparing to 37, 49, or 50 genetics. So it's beating that genetics by almost 10 bushels with 78% win ratio, which is a lot, in 51 comparisons. And also when you're looking at the yield environment, in pretty much every yield environment, it's beating anywhere from 5 bushels up to 12 bushel. So pretty significant yield advantage seen here as well. How do the two brand new products compare with each other? And that's what's being shown in this slide. Well, there's not much yield difference when we look at the overall yields between the two products, only half bushels, so not a lot. But when we start looking at the yield environments, you start seeing that 3686 does seem to do better in the lower yield environments, anything below 170 bushels compared to 3648, whereas 3648 seem to do better in the higher yield environments, anything above 170 bushels. So that's where the difference seems to be coming, where 3686 seems to do better in the lower yield environments and 3648 seems to do better in the higher yield environments. 89 relative maturity product that we tested in our plots was 3955, which was also a double pro. The three characteristics we all need to remember as far as agronomy is concerned is its good test weight, its good dry down, and the early season vigor. They were better than some of our existing relative maturity products. A product that has done really well for us in that maturity is DKC 4077. And this year we are also seeing some good results out of 4045. But since 3955 was not in the trials in New York, that is compared to 4045 or 4077, I'm looking at the data compared to these products in rest of the country. I don't have any data on 3955 comparing to 4077, but I do have data on comparing it to 4045, and I have 43 comparisons which shows almost 10 bushels advantage in 79% win ratio. And also, as far as the yield environments are concerned, it's beating in pretty much all the yield environments. So some good, strong data on this product. But again, I would like to stick to this product next year in our trials to compare against our 4077 to see how it does against that. A 95-day product that we tested was DKC 4594 SmartStax, which also comes in a double pro option as 4595. We brought this product understanding that this will help solve some agronomic issues in that relative maturity that we have faced in the past few years. One of them was gray leaf spot, stalk quality, and dry down. So seems like agronomically solid product. Volume product that I want to compare against 4594 would be our 4480 that has done really good in our territory and rest of the country as well. And in our trials in Northeast is showing that except couple trials, 4594 got out yielded by 4480 in pretty much all the other trials. So let's look at the US data now. US data also shows that 4594 got out yielded by 4480 by only 3 bushels though. So it's pretty close to 4480, but did get out yielded by 4480 in pretty much all the yield environments. The product between 95 to 100 RM that I want to compare against 4594 would be 4754 or 55 genetics. And in my trials, it's showing that in some trials, 4594 would out-yield 4755. In others, it won't. But let's look also at the US trials, see what they show. The US data shows that 4594 beat 4754 by only 1 bushel, so not a lot. But when you look at the yield environment, in the lower yield environment below 200 bushels, 4594 got out yielded by 4754, whereas in higher yield environments, 4594 actually did better than 4754. The moral of the story is that if you have anything below 200 bushels, you might be better with 4754. If you have above 200 bushels, you might be better with 4594. Kind of similar story when we compare 4594 to 4727, which is the same thing as 4620. Only less than a bushel difference. But when you look at the lower yield environment, 4727 seems to have advantage over 4594 as compared to higher yield environment. 4594 seems to have advantage over 4727. The last product below 100 variety maturity that I want to talk about is DKC 4895, which is a double pro. It brings good test weight, really good stocks on it, and it is a high yielder product, as you will see from the data that I'm going to share with you. Here's our DKC 4895. Although we had a limited number of trials with this product in it, but the trials that we had it show a lot of green color, so really good yields on this product compared to some other products. The products that I want to compare with this one are 4944 and 4972. So let's look at the US data to show how they compare. But in our Northeast data, it is showing me that 4895 was out yielding 4944 in some comparisons, in others it was not, and the same story with 4972. When I said about 4895 as high yielder, this is what I meant. So when I compare that product with within plus minus 3 relative maturity, so any product from 95 to 101 day, when it compared against 4895, this product beat all those products by 3.5 bushels with 63% win ratio. So in more than 1,000 comparisons. So that's across the US data, pretty strong data, and from different yield environments as well, anywhere from 2.5 bushels up to 6 bushel yield advantage. Compared to 4944 or 45 genetics, also this is showing pretty good yield advantage, almost anywhere from 2 bushels to 7 bushels yields. So it can beat 49, 44, 45 as well. Now the story on 4972 is a little bit different, where 4895 is just behind 4972 by half bushel, so not a lot in 29 comparisons. Now when we look at the yield environment differences, 4895 beats 4972 below 230 bushel yield environments, but when there is high yield environments above 230 bushels, it gets out yielded by 4972. So it seems like 4972 may have a better top end, anything above 230 bushels. When we are playing below 230 bushels, 4895 may have an edge over 4972. Tune in for another video on products above 100 variety maturity. Until then, thank you.